Hello, this is Ken Simpson with part two of the Simple Cell Rule Sandbox presentation. The following presentation is for educational purposes only. Nothing in this presentation should be considered as investment advice or recommendation to buy any security or to participate in any particular trading or investment strategy. Trading involves risk of substantial loss and you assume all of that risk. You can follow me on Twitter at Crystal Bull. The charts you're about to see were created using MarketSmith, which is a registered trademark of MarketSmith Inc. There's an enhancement here with a custom Chrome browser extension that I wrote. This is not available in the standard MarketSmith. We're trying to show them some features that we'd like to see that would be very helpful. Okay, please don't call MarketSmith and ask how you get these features, and please don't ask me to give you a copy of the Chrome browser extension because they will not allow me to distribute it, and I will not distribute it without their permission. Thank you for that. Before we go, if you haven't seen part one of this presentation, I recommend that you do that. Give you an idea of what we're talking about here. We've got a really simple cell rule set that we use, and you can see it here at YouTube at this address. Okay, pause it if you need to write that address down. All right, I'll put the address in the comments too, so you can copy and paste it. So we're going to show this in action on Netflix. I went back to the start of the year, back to December 29, just to show here you are. You got a market that's looking strong. You got the tax cuts going. You got a flat base, second stage flat base here, and you like Netflix. The numbers look good. It just put in a nice pocket pivot here, launching from the 21-day and the 10-day. So this is on your watch list and it's on your radar. Paying attention here. Okay, so let's skip through day by day. So you have the second here. Okay, so you had another beautiful pocket pivot, a little bit of a gap. You're going to go ahead, you had the sloping trend line in, this triggered, and you want to buy this stock. You can see I actually did buy this here. We want to buy this stock. Okay, we're going to go down here and click. This is not available in MarketSmith. This is something that I wrote. A cell rule sandbox. Okay, so the pivot point on this is 204.38. You can add 10 cents if you want, but the rules are from that pivot point. And we don't have a date yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and set this to January something, January 10th. All right, we were made a purchase. Okay, made a purchase on that day. That's the second. So you usually don't have to skip back these days, but we're going back in history here. So on January 2nd, we made a purchase. We'll call it B1. We made that at $200.50. All right, and we want to set an alert at -7%. Now, I've got this box here, show the MarketSmith target zones. We'll turn those back on. You can see they have, this pink zone is what they show at -5 to -7% loss from the pivot point. But the loss rule, the stop loss rule is from what you purchased it at. So the pink zone for you moves down. So this is your -7% here. Okay, not the pink. All right, I'm going to turn that back off just for this presentation. It'll go on as we skip through. We've got a certainty cell rule exception going on that will trigger if this goes up more than 20% in the first 3 weeks. There's a big cushion cell rule. If it kicks over 50% gain, we'll look at this minimum and maximum patience and decline from the peak in a minute. But we've got these turned on. We've got our profit target at 25% from the pivot. Our alert is set at -7%. If we Anyway, we want to keep that alert on. You can set that at whatever you want. -8, it would move down just a little bit. Okay, but you really want that something like, let's just keep it at -7. Doesn't matter for this, as you're going to see in a minute. Okay, so let's skip through this. We made our B1. Next day, boom, breaks out. We want to buy again. We're going to make our B2 here. That's the January 3rd. And we paid 204, let's say. This is just for an example. Now you'll see you have a new stop loss sell alert that would come in here, right? The original's here, and the new one here. If this drops 7% from where you bought it, you have to sell it. All right, let's skip through another day. Nothing new happening here too much. No biggie. Okay, another strong day. Just for example, we're going to go ahead and just make a new purchase. Let's make a B3. at 210. That's on January 5th. Okay, we just bought it there. Looking another strong day. So we've made our B3. Okay, then it keeps going. We're not buying yet. We're not buying more yet. You got to start checking for new things that are appearing here. Coming into view. Making decent progress. Nothing new. We're stepping day by day. You've got your 3 sell alerts going on. Boom. Okay, all of a sudden, what happened? You've got your 3 sell alerts for your 3 buys. You had a gigantic gap up. This is the certaintied sell rule. This is going 20 to 25%. If you turn that off, that'll disappear. But that's if it were to get into this zone, if you were to follow the certaintied sell rule exception, this is a second stage base. We're a little late in the bull market, but if you're following that, that means you should hold this for 8 weeks, okay? And without selling it, just sort of suspend most of your other sell rules. Okay, so it's in there, but we're going to probably hold this for 8 weeks anyway. Now the 8 weeks is coming into view here. We'll just keep triggering through here day by day. Now you could do another buy here if you wanted. That's a buyable gap up. All right. Matter of fact, let's do that. Let's call that an add-on at 258. We'll do a A1 on the 23rd of January at 258. Okay, so that 7% is here. Let's keep stepping through. Boom, boom, boom. Well into the certainty section there, heading higher, having a great time. Uh-oh, giving some of it back. We're not too concerned. We want to hold it for 8 weeks. 8 weeks is this green section coming in. That's our 40 days that's set right here. A minimum patience. We want to wait that long before we sell it. Okay. Boom, it touched our, well, you've got something else coming into view here. Now this is a decline from the peak that's coming in. All right, I'll turn that off, turn it back on. So that's a 14.5% decline from the peak. Okay, so as you can see, we're strangling our position here. Somewhere in the next few days, we're going to sell this stock. It doesn't really have a lot to go. If it comes down here into the red, we'll sell it. If it gets into the green, that's 8 weeks and 25%, we'll sell it. And if it gets out to here, we'll sell it. Boom, boom, boom. Bad day. Ooh, it got into our decline from the peak, but it didn't close there. It might have got, if I don't have a intraday set up, if I had one, that probably would have triggered, but we're going to just use this for now. And day by day, and right, boom. You're at 8 week, you're at the 40 days, okay? We wanted to give it to here to sell. We're at the 25%, that's represented from here. All right, that's what's set here. So this is in our sell zone. We sell this right there, okay? We'll keep stepping through just to show you what happened, but these are your alerts for your initial buys. Let's turn those off. Okay, this is a decline from the peak, which it doesn't kick in yet. You have to have at least some stops in here. So you have there's your losses. Your decline from the peak came in. If you don't want to wait 40 days, you would have sold this somewhere in here. If you want to, for a stock that's not going very far, very fast, you want to give it that many weeks. 13 weeks typically. Big cushion sell rule, that's still out of view up above. That's after 50%. And the certainty sell rule. Okay, we'll turn on our MarketSmith things just to barely see them in here. Incidentally, the green is off by a couple pixels. That's a MarketSmith bug. But let's turn those back off and we'll just step through and see what happened here, just for fun. This thing kept going. we're out of it, but you can see the decline from the peak rules going higher and higher as this thing keeps hitting new peaks. So if you're still in it, let's back up here. If you're still in this, if you didn't sell it here on this 8-week plus 25%, if you perhaps you had some kind of a trailing stop going, here you've hit the big cushion sell rules. Typically that means you don't sell it unless this thing round trips or has a terrible day. So now you're into this this gold section here, which is the big cushion sell rule. Okay, just to show you how these things go. And I'll just step through a bunch of days here. And came back down, and then we're going to get to the end of our 13 weeks. And back to here. Anyway, that's what the sell rule sandbox looks like. Your stock goes up as it goes up. You're going to have to sell it if it has a drop. You're trying to get to this target, which is just what Netflix did. We put it in a sandbox and we shrunk the sandbox down. The walls came in, and eventually we sold it. And when you get to this point, you don't want to give all your gains back. So this decline from the peak steps your sells up. All right. This was actually a profit. This probably shouldn't be red. I'll have to fix that. It turns green up above your last purchase. Get rid of that one. Anyway, if you didn't make that last purchase, this remains green because you would have had a loss on that one. But this one is not a loss. So anywhere in here, you're selling for a nice profit. But that's the way the sandbox works. The walls come in, the walls come in, the walls come in, and eventually you sell it. Right? The way this is could be profitable is if you have a lot more that go up than hit the red. And that's the whole idea. That's why you do the fundamental analysis to try to pick the tip-top stocks that have a good chance of doing this. With the sandbox, it might help in your selection of buying a stock as you plot this graphically. The scale changes on these charts, so it's kind of hard to see. If you can line up the sandbox ahead of time, let's just skip to the day and clear this thing out. Let's do a new one. If you had a new one today, this is the 23rd. Let's set that for the 23rd and a pivot point of 338.82. And make a new purchase at 338. On the 24th. Anyway, you can start to see where these are going to come into view. You're seeing, is this stock going to have a chance to get to here? We get to the certainty area or get to the plus 25% in 8 weeks area. That's what you're trying to guess. If we back up here a few days, when you made your selection, it's kind of hard to see. Zoom out. Yeah. Anyway, that's the sell rule sandbox. Hope that makes sense. It would be really nice if MarketSmith would add this feature so you could see it in action and help everybody instead of having to rely on this. Anyway, again, this was just for educational purposes, and please don't call MarketSmith and ask how you get these features. And thanks for watching.